Hey guys, this video is about something you haven't seen me work on yet. I found out that tomorrow something really cool is coming into the shop, and I'm going to cover that. It's probably going to shoot this video over the course of a week or so. Yeah, so when we get there tomorrow morning, we'll get after it. If you like the content, please subscribe, and yeah, let's get to it. Hey, so here I am at work, and this cute little 57 Chevy two-door post, 383 stroker, really nice looking car. It's a runner, it's a driver. The reason it's here is he's with the guy with the trailer, and the trailer brought in the 55 Bel Air two-door hardtop. So this is the next project in this shop. I'm going to be getting on this shortly, within minutes as a matter of fact. And yeah, actually he already brought in some interior pieces I've already sanded, and they're ready for prime and paint. He made up his own little console, center console. Gone over that, smoothed it over. This car is pretty solid. For the most part, it's been done from the firewall back, but it's gonna go. We got to go over the whole car. There's a few spots here and there that need to be fixed up, and the front clip complete. It's had some patches welded in. We're gonna have to fix up, and then we're gonna have to look at all the door gaps and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's running an LS in this thing, so it's going two-tone. This kind of blue here, but actually a little bit darker on the bottom, and then silver, metallic silver on the top, and you know, the traditional here, that'll be all silver, and the bottom will be blue, the hood and all that. So yeah, very cool. Love these cars, man. You know, two-door hardtop, that's the shit. That's the one you want. So there you go. I'll be checking in on this thing every once in a while as we're moving along on it. And the only thing I got to do before I get on this is we're going to wash up this thing. 04 Ford. Did the front fender and a blend on the door, and yeah, it just needs to be washed up and tonneau cover reinstalled, and the guy's picking that up today. So there you go. I'll come back when the 57's on its way out. You can hear it running. This Chevy looks, sounds pretty cool. Right on. Oh yeah, she's got a real good rumble to her. Nice. Right on. Okay, so it's Tuesday. At work, and I got started first thing on the 55 Bel Air. So I blocked out this quarter, and then we decided, well, it's probably best to take the front clip off. So did that. So the fenders and inner fenders are off, and yeah, I started working on them. I've done a fair amount of work on the inners. They're almost done. The inside of them, the inside of the engine bay is going this blue color. So yeah, they got to be nice and smooth. We're not going for straight here, we're going for smooth. You know, any of the little bumpy areas or spots that were welded and whatever, I've touched them all up. Run sandpaper over it real quick, a couple good coats of primer, and should be ready for paint. And the fenders, well, I'm on the passenger one now, the right front, and it's coming along, but there's a lot of work on this fender. So yeah, one step at a time, and we'll just keep after it until eventually it's all done. Got to block the whole car, as you can see from the you know, blotchy patches and stuff like that. There's a lot of low and high spots, and it's going to take a lot of work to get that out. But it is what it is. You want a straight car, you got to block it. You know, they're pretty large panels, so you can expect some waviness, I guess, but we can straighten her out. It's just a matter of patience and you know, muscle work. Just keep on blocking it until it all looks the same, and then you're good. But anyway, that's where I'm at on this thing. Just real quick. There's your LS engine. So yeah, she's gonna be a beauty, man. Right on. Okay, so block sanded the whole car. The roof and the doors and the trunk lid are really nice. They're good. Quarters will probably have to be blocked, I'm guessing 2 more times. Then I did all the body work on the front fenders. So yeah, you know how it looks. There are little touch-ups here and there that are left to do, but it's not bad. Then we got on to gapping the doors. The gaps were a real issue on this thing when it first came in. Got them pretty good now. Went and bought a bunch of paint sticks, all from the same store, because different stores have different thickness paint sticks. So we got a stack of all the same ones. And yeah, we got our gaps set on this side. And you can see we make little notes here and there of what needs to be done. This was low here at the top, so we used a stinger to pull it up. So a little bit of filler work, but not a ton. You know, we're not getting into you know, putting it on with a shovel or anything like that. We're going to keep the bondo down to a minimum. Now we're going to set the gaps on this door here. We've already got them good to the quarter and at the bottom. So now it's just lining up the fender. We ran out of shims, so he's gone to the boss has gone to the store to pick up some shims, and can finish tightening this thing down and setting our gap. And this side here seemed to have gone to be together a lot better and easier. The driver's side was the real problem, but other than that, you know, it's coming along really well. We'll see how the hood fits once the fenders are on. Might have to do some adjustments there, but other than that, yeah, good progress and moving right along. So I'll show you what it looks like once we get the other fender lined up and see what we have to do with the hood. All right, so this thing is all pretty straight, pretty decent. The only thing was they did the body work with the doors off the car. So with the doors off the car, what they ended up with was kind of a rounded door. You know, it was heavier, like it was nice and smooth and everything, but you'd see that dip. Same with the quarter, dip out. Same with the front fender. So what we ended up doing, I welded a piece of angle iron onto the jamb, vice gripped the door to where I wanted it, and then we just laid the mud to it, straightened it right out, and now we just have to cut the grooves front and back. So you see there's no, you know, we're not going to jump through the window. The door's going to be operating, and I'm doing the same thing on the other side. So it looks like a lot of mud, but it's not. Most of it ends up on the floor in the form of dust. There's maybe a 16th total buildup over this whole span. So it just takes that curve or dip out of it, because it would show in the paint. You know, if you look down the side of the car, it would dip in where the door meets the quarter, and the same thing with the fender. So anyway, we're almost there. I'm on the other side now, and yeah, I'm just slinging mud, and we'll get her done. Okay, so this is how we're straightening this out. I got masking tape. There's 3 layers, one on top of each other, both sides. Just gonna slap some mud on there, and then I've got a straight edge that rides the tape here, and we're just gonna bring it all the way up and smooth it out. That'll flatten everything. I've got that going here at the back of the door, at the front of the door where it meets the fender. Right now I've got a heat lamp on it to dry this body filler up. We'll sand off the knobbies and give it another shot. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this the blast. You can see I just knocked off any big chunks, so your straight edge will ride nice and smooth on the body. So yeah, I'll mix up a batch and we'll slap this on. It's gonna look crude as hell, but I'm telling you, the end result will be great. Okay, so here we go. That's it. It looks like lots, but it's not that much. Okay, there you go. We'll take one more of those and then it should be ready to sand. All right, so here's the end result. I got a couple spots, just touch-ups I got to do, sand them out, and that's it. The rest is good, and I'm telling you, man, the car is straight. I mean, you look, she's straight. She looks really, really good. Maybe this might get a better view here. It's hard to tell. When I get it in black primer, which should be in, well, probably by Monday. We're going to try and get it in high build primer tomorrow and then block it out. And then black primer, tomorrow. Then black primer by the end of the day tomorrow or Monday. Probably Monday. But anyway, it's moving along pretty good. That's quite a bit of work in a day. Doing a whole side in a day basically is what I've been doing. There were a couple of spots here where there is a patch welded in around here somewhere, and there were a couple of high spots where the welds were. I had to grind them down a bit. Same with right here. You can see it's almost to the metal there already. So because it's always already to the metal here, you know that there's very, very little Bondo or body filler on this thing, you know. So yeah, there's not much at all, maybe a 16th tops. So yeah, we're looking good. All right, so I've gone all the way around the car, had it up in the air, went along the bottom, brought it down, did anything I had to do around the top, all the way around the car. It's all done. So the bodywork is essentially done, except for the hood. The hood is really, really nice in this thing, so it won't take long at all. So I see no issue at all getting this thing into primer tomorrow. It's near the end of the day, so I was just sweeping up, and just to show you, here's my pile of dust from body filler. That's the 4th pile that size that I've swept up. So like I said, you slap it on there, yeah, you put a lot on, but most of it ends up on the floor in the form of dust. What a waste. Too bad you couldn't mix that with something and reuse it, but no, you can't. Anyway, so yeah, I'm super happy with the way it came out. And once we get it all in one color, it's going to look a lot better. Sweet. All right, so I'm back home now, obviously, and yeah, that wasn't bad. I did, you know, one side each day, the last 2 days. So that's a fair amount of body work in 2 days to do. But the car is coming out really nice. There was a couple of things though that I wanted to show you that I didn't. The sanding blocks that I was using, 30-inch block, so 2.5 feet long. That keeps everything nice and straight. And you know, for some of the little rounded lip at the wheelhouse and stuff like that, there's a round tube type block. So yeah, I mean, I have most of those blocks. I don't have the great big long ones like he has. He's got one there that's even longer at 36 inches, I think. But I like using the 30 inch. It's pretty good. Yeah, so for sure, I got maybe a couple hours tomorrow to do a little bit on the hood. They filled a couple of the badging holes and stuff like that, so it's just got to be smoothed out. But the hood is super straight itself, so there's not a ton of work there. Like I said, probably a couple hours in the morning, noon the latest, and that thing will be ready to go into the booth and get primed. He's using a extremely high build type of primer. I've never used it before, but apparently it's almost like spraying a coat of putty in the whole car. That's how thick this stuff is, and it fills in all the scratches and little divots and whatever. And we're going to block that once it sets using a guide coat. We'll block the whole car, and then it's going into black primer for a contrast, so you can see if there's any high spots showing through. I doubt it. I think it's going to be super smooth and super straight. And with black primer, you know, we'll wet it and you'll be able to see anything in there. It'll look like shiny black paint. That'll show everything. So yeah, pretty cool. And the car will be ready for paint next week sometime. And the colors he picked are really nice. I think I showed them to you. Maybe well, it's too late now. I should have shown you the spray out cards we had out in the sun. This thing's going to really pop, and there's a lot of flake in the silver at the top, and the blue it's a really rich, deep blue. So I think it's going to look super sharp. I think he's got American racing wheels going on it, and you know, the LS and all that stuff. Going to be a sweet car, man. So yeah, we're making pretty quick work of it, I think. At least I like to think so. The owner's been by a few times. He came by when I was spreading the first coat of filler on the car with my drywall trowel. He says, "What are you doing, parging a house?" But he likes the end result because you know, the driver's side had already been done, and he's seen how straight it is, and he's happy with it. And yeah, so I'm gonna keep on trucking on that. Next video I'll be back on my own stuff, and you know, we get further along, I'll give you an update through one of my videos on the car when it's painted and show you how it looks. And yeah, right on. So if like I said earlier, if you like the content, please subscribe. I truly would appreciate it. You know, don't be shy, leave comments. Like to hear what people are thinking, and you know, I try and reply to all of them. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. So if you're not doing anything else, get out in the garage and build something, man. Later, guys.